What's up, guys, from YouTube? And it's been a long time I haven't posted any video. This time I want to talk to you about fuel problems in a Volvo engine D13. If you ever had the problem like the engine is just cranking a lot and doesn't start, and then you have to prime the fuel pump. You've been through fuel filter housing, you've been through fuel rail pressure sensor or stuff like that, and still same problem. Maybe also like you doing like a compression test or cylinder cutout and still nothing working. Well, most likely it's gonna be the injector caps, and I'm gonna show you how you can, it's gonna be a little bit hard to see what the problem is. To find out if it's injector caps in that, then you're gonna need to remove the injectors. This truck has been having issues with the starting problem. So usually it's just like cranking, and it doesn't start. So once you prime the system, it starts right up and it's gonna run fine, not gonna have any issues. You're gonna give gas, everything is gonna be okay. Also, you check in the injectors with the computer, everything seems okay. So the first thing I did, let's say, I make sure there is no fuel leaks. Sometimes when there is a fuel leak, like on a fuel filter housing or something like that, then it's gonna have like it's gonna start sucking air. Let's say you turn off the engine, and because there is a leak somewhere, it's just gonna suck air and all the fuel is gonna go back to the tanks. So that's why it's taking so long to start, because it needs to pull. Once you start cranking, the pump has to pull the fuel all the way to the engine. So that's why it takes long to start. So this one was having that issue. So I checked the fuel filter housing. It was leaking. I replaced the fuel filter housing. I can show you guys. Maybe you guys can see it right there. I replaced it, but still was doing the same problem. Then I opened the engine to make sure the fuel rail pressure sensor, which was here, we did the bypass on this one because also that's an issue on these ones. I replaced the sensor because it was having some issues about the fuel pressure, so I changed the sensor and it still was doing the same thing. So after I did all these diagnostics and check all the fuel lines, make sure all the fuel lines from the tank going to the top of the cross member by the transmission, and from there going all the way to the engine. After I make sure everything was okay, and after I replace this fuel filter housing, sensor, and then make sure everything is good, I decided to open the engine and remove the injectors to inspect the injectors and see if there was any sign of bad injectors, which, like I say, it's hard to know when the engine is running. So you don't know if the injectors are really bad. You have to remove them to see if there is any problem on the injectors itself. So I removed the injectors, and as you guys can see right here, usually you're gonna be able to see on the injectors, you see everything here looks shiny a little bit all around, so everything is good on this one. So that means the injector is like sitting against the injector cap really good. This is the injector cap right here. So the injector goes like this inside the cylinder head. So once you remove this, you're gonna be able to see. So I checked everything here, everything, it's like same line all around, everything is good, no damage at all. And those injectors also, they come in with only one o-ring. Usually before, the old injectors, like in a D12 engine, it was two o-rings, one here and one here. But those new engines, they require only one o-ring right here. So I was inspecting all the injectors. This is the number 2, and you see right here, same all around, everything seems fine with this. No signs of damage. Right here, nothing, everything is same all around. A little bit of carbon, that's because of the fuel, you know, so that's normal. This is the number 3, and this injector, this engine has 3 electric injectors, which is this is 3 and 4, no 5, 1, 3 and 5. That's electric and 3 mechanical. So this one, this is the number 2, seems okay. This one, it looks a little bit like not same as this. You guys can see right here, like it's a line right here. You see this one is good, this one also is good, number 2, but you guys can see number 3 is not the same. It looks a little bit different, but still it's not a big deal on this one. You guys can see right here, so that's not a big issue. The problem is this right here. This is injector number 4. As you guys can see right here, this is the part that it was like touching the injector cap. But right here, this part right here, where it's black, that means this part wasn't touching. It wasn't like all the way in, or it's just like damaged right here. So from here, the fuel system is like sucking air, and there is like no way to hold the fuel into the engine. So when you turn off the engine, since this is like open, it's gonna, all the fuel that is inside the system is just gonna go back to the fuel tanks because it's not holding it, because there is a leak somewhere. So this is it. This is the problem right here. You guys can see the damage right here. So this is shiny where it was touching, and this part it wasn't touching. So this is the problem. That's how you guys know, I mean, if your injectors are bad. So you can see right there also same thing, and right here, which is the most the worst part right here. So if you guys, let's say you got your truck in a shop and the mechanic says, oh, you need to change the injectors, but you're not sure if you want to do that, I mean, you can tell them, okay, let me see the injectors. And if you see something like this on your injectors, I will say then, yeah, go ahead and replace them. I know money sometimes is a little bit tight, and once you got one, if one of the injectors fail, that means the other ones probably soon they're gonna fail. So it's better to replace the whole 6 altogether, injector caps and injectors altogether. But if you're tight with money, let's say you don't want to spend that much money, then you can go just with one. Let's say this one, all of them are good. 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6, they're good. So let me show you this one. This is number 5, and also it's good. I don't see any damage on this one. Nothing. Everything looks okay. This is number 6, and you see line, everything is okay. So the only thing you can do, let's say you got no money, you can just replace the one. The only problem is replacing one. It's around $1,000 or something like that. And the kit, the whole kit itself is around $4,000. So for $4,000, you got 6 injectors. And I will say total injector caps and injectors is around $5,000. So you're saving money, let's say like that, because if you want to buy only one, let's say you want to replace the only one that is bad, you're going to pay labor for one, and then you're going to pay one injector, which is around $800. So it's a lot of work and money for only one. Yeah, you're going to save money like on the not replacing all of them. Instead of spending $5,000, you're spending only, let's say, $1,000, $1,500 the most. But what if you replace one today, and then the next week you have to replace another one? It's again the same work, and they're gonna charge you again for replacing the other injector. So I will say, if you don't wanna, I mean, if you really tight with money and you wanna change only one, then make sure the bad one, it looks like this, and the other ones are like this, or better if it's like this. You can just replace the one that is bad if you're really tight with money, and hope that nothing else is gonna happen. So you're gonna need to change one with the injector cap. If you got the money and you don't want to risk it for the next time, then okay, replace all 6 injectors with injector caps. Do after this you have to redo a tune-up. Don't forget to change the fuel lines, because these fuel lines, I mean, the material on this, usually once you tighten them, the conus, which goes inside the injector right here, it kind of sits and it makes like a seal between. If once you remove this one and you, let's say you want to put it on the new one, you may have a problem because it's not gonna close properly. So make sure you replace the fuel lines with the injector caps. So that's all I got for you guys. I mean, like I say, if you I mean, you go into a shop and you're not sure they telling you the truth. Oh yeah, you got injectors. We need to replace them. You want to make sure, and they can show you the injectors. Well, this is what you can do. Make sure all the injectors are like this. If they're like this, then they're good. But if they are like this, you see right here is shiny, and here is black. That means like a smoke. The compression is going through the injector. That's why you're losing. The fuel is going back to the fuel tanks, and you're losing power also. So that's all I got for you guys. I don't know if this is gonna help you guys to understand how it works, this thing. If you guys have any question or something, I mean, there is my phone number on my channel. You guys can call me and ask me whatever you guys want anytime. I'm here to answer some questions. So this is all for me, guys. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.